right. I think we're going live.
All right, cool.
Looks
good.
saying
the streaming.
All right, we're good. What's going on, everybody, in marketing strategies for PTs? Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right?
I think so.
Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a fantastic week and really getting after it. I got something really special for all of you today. I got Steve Messineo in here, a good friend of mine who's we've worked together on a lot of marketing projects. And he recently went through our Physio Ads that Convert program and has gotten some pretty darn remarkable results. And so by popular demand of the people in this group, we were able to get him in here for a few minutes of his time to share with you the exact ads, landing pages, and formulas that he's been using that brought in over $4,000 in new patient revenue with just was it $47 ad spend, something like that?
Yeah, and let's say projected, because at the end of the day, they're not through their plan of care yet. We've only just started running the ad, but certainly it's right on track.
Beautiful, and we'll dive into all those numbers and what they actually mean. But what I want everyone to understand, what's going to happen in this live, is that we're actually going to show you the exact how we went about creating an avatar, creating an offer, building the ad campaigns, building the landing pages, and then how we actually handle those leads that turn them into booked appointments. Mm-hmm. So everyone on here that's watching this live, please comment team live. If you're catching the replay, comment team replay. But more importantly than any of that, thanks Steve for his willingness to come in here and share this stuff with you, because it's really easy for a clinic owner to just say, like, I have the system that's working, everyone back off so you don't copy me. But Steve's kind enough to jump in here and share his system with us. Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
So for the people that don't really know who you are, obviously I know who you are. I've been following your content for a really long time. But can you just tell people a little bit about yourself and your practice and the businesses that you run?
Absolutely. So Steve Messineo, I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I own All Access Physical Therapy. We're located in central Massachusetts. We have 3 clinic locations in Shrewsbury, Marlborough, and Sterling. Marlborough being our newest clinic, which we opened in May. And in addition to being a practice owner for a number of years, I have been a business coach and working with practice owners and actually small business owners in various fields, not just physical therapy, but chiropractic, acupuncture, work with spa owners, that type of thing. A lot of different small businesses, and essentially helping them put together systems and processes to help them grow their businesses, not just from a marketing side of things, but also how to do simple things like manage their own employees, or that's not simple. I'm just kidding, but things like managing their cash flow, little kind of big picture stuff that makes a business work the right way. And so, that's something I've done on the side. It's been enjoyable, and I still do that from here to here. But really, lately, I've been really focusing on my practices. I'm excited about the growth. We have opportunities to open 3 more clinics in the next 3 to 5 years. That's our goal. And there's really a lot of opportunity, and there's a lot of practice owners out there that look at what's happening with respect to changes in Medicare reimbursement. And I'm one of those practice owners that takes insurance and Medicare reimbursement and declining reimbursements and so forth and so on, and they run for the hills, and they don't want to grow. They kind of get worried, and I'm not one of those guys. I'm one of those guys that believes that there's opportunities to move forward. You just need to think outside the box, be open to new systems and processes to help your practice grow, and that's really what I've been implementing lately. And really, what your system, what I learned from you guys, is one of those steps that I took. That I'm in a constant learning process, especially with marketing, and some of the stuff I picked up from your course was really interesting and new, and I put it to the test, and it's provided some really great results, which I'm excited about and excited to share tonight.
Yeah, well, we definitely appreciate it. And honestly, spoken like a true entrepreneur about how much adversity and change is coming to healthcare, and you see that as an opportunity, because obviously there's going to be a lot of people that can't make the cut on that, but you're definitely one of those proactive people, and I can see you having a ton of continued success moving forward. So excited to see how all of this plays into opening those next 3 clinics.
Absolutely.
So, so you've done a lot of marketing. You've trained a lot of people, helped them grow their businesses, and I've actually even brought you in here to teach a lot of your marketing tactics because they're genius. But in regards to Facebook, can you just walk us through before you went through our Physio Ads that Convert program, what your Facebook ad situation looked like?
Yeah, look, I've had some decent success on Facebook. I'm not going to lie, but at the same time, it hasn't really. I haven't had the success that I had with you guys. And what I mean by that is, really never. I had good lead results. For example, my primary focus was either doing. I had two kind of lead strategies that I was doing on Facebook, Facebook ads. That was free PT exams, and workshops. And the workshops is, one of those things that, another guy in the PT industry, just, I'm sure we all know him. I learned that process from and got some good results. But I found that, they were good strategies. They worked okay. I got some decent results out of them. I ended up, sometimes a campaign would pay for the ad spend. Sometimes campaign wouldn't pay for the ad spend. So, for me, there were good results, but at the same time, it's about continuing to grow, learn new processes. And interestingly enough, when I came across what you guys were doing, I've seen it before in other professions. For example, I have a good friend of mine, right down the street, who is a chiropractor, and he's running very similar ads, and not necessarily content-wise, but offer-wise. And I never really touched base with him other than I knew he was doing. He's kind of using, he does like I do. He creates a funnel, creates a landing page, and so forth. But I never applied it to my practice because I never thought to do so. Thought, well, geez, why would I charge anybody, $39 or $29 to come in for, why don't we just get them in and have a conversation and convince them otherwise? And so it was interesting seeing you guys come up with them. I'm like, what? All right, fine. I got to do it now, And it's interesting because the funny part about the free PT exam or free PT screening, or whatever you want to call it, was I'm kind of on this fence, and it's funny. Our buddy Anthony Mariotto put it out there today, on Facebook. Nobody values free. Free is free.
Right.
You can. Oh well, sure, I'll opt in. It's free. Great. What are you gonna do with it? You gotta do nothing with it because you don't value it enough. So if you opt in, and you don't take action, as a practice owner, great, I got a new lead, but I'm giving them something free, so they don't actually take the action. And that was one of the kind of the light bulbs that went off when I saw what you guys are doing. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's give this thing a run. And frankly, the results have been really, really, really great. Even in the two campaigns that I've done, initially started with a low back campaign, and that went really well. But this neck and shoulder campaign I just put together has been phenomenal. So.
Yeah. So I know everyone's curious, like, what are the actual numbers? Because any person that kind of knows marketing can make themselves sound awesome. But until you can break into the numbers, then that's where you can get the true measure of success. But before we dive into that, besides just managing perceived value, what are are there any other big differences that you've found between our program and other things you've done?
Sure. The one of the things I think that was interesting, and I think this is something that I was, from a marketing standpoint, I was a little hesitant to do because I was afraid I wasn't getting enough information, not getting connected enough with the individual with my ad copy. And so my ad copy was always a little bit long, a little bit more of a storytelling, more hey, trying to connect with and get them to see what I was trying to do is going to benefit them in a way that the ad has to resonate with them. In order to do that, you need to have a little more ad copy. So my ad copy was always a little bit longer than, quite frankly, it needed to be, because based on what we learned from your course, it doesn't need to be long. It could be a sentence or two. It could be a quick testimonial, and then you give them the meat of what you're doing and why you're doing it, and bing, bang, boom, you're getting leads. And that was kind of, and it doesn't really surprise me when you reflect on it, because at the end of the day, we are all a fast moving society, no matter what. We're hitting Facebook. It's got to be capture your attention. Give me what I need to know. Let me go do my the next step and whatever that ad's telling you. Because frankly, I look at myself. I read some of this long ad copy stuff that I see on Facebook. I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? I just move on to the next thing. It's like, okay, well, if I'm doing that, why everybody else is doing the same thing with me? So kind of tweaking, just seeing a tweak and going, you know what, I should try that. And that was pretty cool. And that's just part of marketing and not marketing, part of learning and growing and changing with the times. And that's the benefit of following guys like you and connecting with people who are in the marketing world, because we all can offer different perspectives on what we're doing and what works and what doesn't work and how to tweak things. And, you learn a little bit every step of the way. I'm sure you're following other guys and you're going, hey, I got this, this, and this. I'm going to try this nugget next time I do it, and I'll apply it to
books
my
I'm
next
reading.
course. Yeah, there you go. So, but that's what it's all about. And so that was a benefit of that was another benefit of taking this course, is really just kind of tweaking my ad copy a little bit so that it get better results.
Right. And that's one of the things I'm really excited that you agreed to come and do this, because I know that you're a really smart, strategic thinker. So I'm sure there's things that you tweaked to improve the system that we had. So I'm excited to get into that stuff. So jump into the numbers.
Yeah, let's. Do you want to do how do you want to do this? Do you want me to do a screen share, or can you do that with this? Or if not, I'll just go ahead and
let's do this first. Why don't you tell us about the avatar that these campaigns were for, and how you selected that avatar?
Yeah, I've always known that for my practices, women are definitely more apt to take advantage of something like this than men. I also know women are more are on Facebook. Why do I know this? Well, my wife's on it pretty much 24/7. Which so there's very little time, little tech information on her phone looking at Facebook, what's going on. But it's not just her; it's her friends, it's everything else. And so I'm at that age. I'm pushing 50, and that's our avatar. We're looking at 35-year-old women to 65-year-old women who are they either have young kids and they're at home, or they're working. They're all very social, and Facebook is one of those platforms that they can connect, they can share photos, can do this and that, and they're always on it. So that's been my avatar, is women 35 to 65, and I've always, for the most part, focused on it. What I did learn, when I didn't so much learn, but knew I should do and didn't do in the past, was really segment it down to women, and I said, all right, well, let's do it this time around and see what happens. And it's been great. Honestly, I may eventually, and it's something I'm thinking about next month, is turn around, change the ad copy a little bit, and target men, and just see what happens. Just to get a result, just see if it's resonating, or what I'm doing is resonating with men, or even if Facebook's the right medium. But that's part of marketing, it's part of testing, and so forth. So my avatar right now in the last 2 campaigns has been women 35 to 65 years old in this area, and that's really it. That's all I've used based on what you guys had recommended. Now, I do have one tweak in my ad set, the second campaign, which I'll talk about in a little bit as we get to it.
Okay. And so do you have a specific diagnosis or problem that you're targeting within that women 35 to 65 area?
Sure. So the first time I did the campaign, when I first took your course, I did low back pain. This time around, we've had a far greater result was with neck and shoulder pain. So I've been focused on neck and shoulder
pain. Yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest ones for us too. Yep. Neck and shoulder pain.
Well, and it's nice too, because neck pain and shoulder pain, if anybody's a therapist out there, look, a lot of people with shoulder pain have neck pain, and vice versa. So it makes perfect sense to put the two together instead of focusing on one versus the other, to get a kind of a greater result from a lead generation standpoint.
Absolutely. Okay, so now that we understand your avatar, let's dig a little bit more into how you actually came up with an offer. You kind of touched on how before you're just doing free discovery visits for free, and you thought that was the best way because you want to get to know them before you charge them anything. Right. Can you walk us through your offer creation process?
Sure. I mean, look,
what your offer was.
Yeah.
And feel free to share your screen if you want to show us the landing page or the ads.
Let me do that for you, because that's really where you'll see the meat of it all here. Let me just
let's start with
get to my Zoom screen. So I'm gonna share that, and then I'll find my Facebook here. Hold on. There it is. Okay, so here's the this is actually the ad itself, the ad copy. Can you see that, by the way?
Yep.
Perfect. So, I mean, this is straight out of your course. This is straight out of one of Max's comments. Thank you, Max. Find yourself standing in a hot shower to relieve a tense neck or shoulder. I mean, I've used that for the low back one. Find yourself standing in a shower to relieve a tense low back. I just change the wording on it. If so, we're doing something. This is your stuff. This is what I learned from your course. Promoted the 3 locations, and the reason I did the 3 locations is I found that when I combine the 3 locations from a ad set standpoint, that's where I got the numbers I needed from a target audience standpoint that you guys had recommended. So we're offering a neck and shoulder analysis session, including movement, strength, joint mobility, and posture assessment, complete report of findings and recommendation and an extremely effective treatment strategy for only $29. But again, I didn't create this. I mean, this is straight out of your course. I just took it, tweaked it a little bit for my business, and that's it. And so, that's the other piece that I think a lot of practice owners need to realize is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Take what's working and go with it. Don't try to massage it to make you feel good about what's written there. I mean, I just said, all right, I'm going to test it and run with it. And if it works, I'm going to use it. That's what we've done here. Again, click here to claim your voucher now. Only 23 left.
I love it.
$159 value. Here are a couple of testimonials. Again, same thing you guys did. Just took my own testimonials. And here's my little bit.ly link, which essentially takes them to the landing page. So all straight out of your course.
I love it. And it's so good, but I want to break it down a little bit for people just
sure.
Because it's really easy to look at copy and not really know what's happening on it. Okay. So, and I'm going to do this really quickly because we actually sell this and I probably shouldn't just be giving everything away, but we're going to do it anyway.
Hey, if you want me to turn it off, I will.
Yeah. No. All right. So in your ad copy, you have to do the call out to exactly who you're talking to, because you want to repel everyone that this offer doesn't involve. So Central Mass and Metro West ladies. Okay. Very obvious that it's for them. And then right after that is called the relatability statement. So can you walk us through how you, because in the program, you had to come up with quite a few. You want to walk us through your relatability state, or like kind of the process you went through?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of thinking about, for me, it's, you use different terms. I use the conversion equation: interrupt, engage, educate, offer. Interrupt is create a statement that's going to connect with the individual based on what's going on with them at the moment. Well, I mean, there's probably a lot of women out there standing in the shower every morning going, God, my neck and shoulders bother me. I slept on it wrong, or it's been bothering me for weeks. That statement in itself, that's the interrupt. That gets them the message into their brain that, hey, I got that going on. Well, then what's the engage? Well, the engage is the next part, which is, hey, if so, we're doing something to help women with neck and shoulder pain. And here's what we're doing. And we're doing it to promote our physical. So the nice part about that is I'm being honest. Hey, I'm doing this to help you, but it's also to promote me. So, take what I'm going to show you here and let's go ahead. And so now they're engaged. Now they're in the process of going, okay, that's interesting. Let's see what you have to offer. And here's the offer. And the offer is exactly what we put down here, the shoulder analysis session, which includes all these little things that go into it. And the offer also includes the price point, which is, $29, which frankly, for what we do in that session, it's absolutely worth it all day long. I mean, we're legitimately providing them with everything they need and information enough so they know what to do going home to help themselves. And of course, at the end of the session, we're still talking about a recommendation for additional physical therapy, but that's part of the process. They're going to get value out of it. They're going to get a connection. They're going to get some help. They're going to feel good, and they're going to walk away with, a solution and go, okay, here's what I need to do. And by the way, we take insurance. So most of the time we're just converting them into a plan of care that's insurance based, and they're happy with that. So for the $29, it's a no-brainer. And frankly, it's far better from a standpoint compared to my previous ads because they value it. They call us or we call them. We put them on. We take their payment right there, like $29. You got to reserve your slot. There's no questions. You have to reserve. You have to pay us if you want to reserve your slot, because at the end of the day, if you don't show up, that's on you. We're not giving you a refund.
Right.
And that's happened actually. But so I've covered my cost from a marketing standpoint. Have I covered my cost for the time involved with the individual when they come into the clinic? No. But at the same time, that session and the education we provide gets them converted, and that it far outweighs the cost of that session. It gets them into a plan of care that obviously drives a lot of revenue for us. And that goes without having to get a referral from a doctor and all that stuff. We coordinate some of that, but it's already done because the patient calls their doctor and says, hey, doctor, send me this referral because I want to go to physical therapy because I think they can help me better than anybody else. Perfect. And now the doctor has some confidence in us as well, which helps us in the long run.
Absolutely. And I think I'm going to dive into, grill you with questions on how exactly you do convert these people once they opt in. 'Cause I know that's a problem a ton of people have. So before we move on from the ads, So right now, you're running conversion campaigns, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so you're just running a simple conversion campaign. Are you doing anything fancy with the targeting?
Sure. I mean, the target. Well, so in this particular campaign, yes, I did. I have, from years of running ads on Facebook, I learned how to use the Facebook Pixel, and I know you guys have talked about that in your course a little bit. So what I did is, I took a, I've run conversion campaigns in the past. I've tracked the pixels and so forth. And then the nice part about Facebook is they allow you to take those pixels and create lookalike audiences. Isn't that special?
Oh yeah.
So I created a bunch of lookalike. So I took all those conversion, numbers, whatever you want to call them, audiences that I created, and then created lookalike audiences for them, and plot them all together in this ad. Literally chose them all, selected them all in my ad set. And the funny part is you can't see the numbers, but it doesn't matter, because it's when Facebook does a lookalike audience, they give you like over a million people.
Right.
But when you select it down to the location targeting, like you suggested in your course, it doesn't matter. You're still coming up with essentially the same number, but now the characteristics of these people is more likely to be the ones that actually respond to your ad versus just a generic thing. So it just adds to the enhancement of the response. And that's the only difference between what I did in the first campaign that I did with you guys versus the second one, is now I took advantage of all my lookalike audiences and my previous conversions. And I think that may be what made a big difference. I'm not sure, but that's where this future process of marketing that I will continue to do, I'll get a better answer. But I think it's pretty good indicator that had something to do with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, anytime you have a pixel set up and you can use that data, it'd be crazy not to. You basically just, bypassed the whole algorithm, having to relearn everything, and just gave it the information it's needed. And that's brilliant. Does anyone, I guess, no, let's not dive into pixels. That's a rabbit hole. So
that's a whole nother course. Jesus, are you kidding me?
That's a whole nother.
I can't even tell you how much time I invested in learning pixels before I got it right.
Okay. So this part, before we move on from ads, is, I think we're 99% of people, this is why their ads don't work, is the creative and the picture that you decided to use.
Okay.
So you've run ads before and after our program. Can you kind of guide us through some of the mistakes that you made and what you found has started to work a lot better for you?
It's funny. You guys nailed it in your course, in that you got to use pictures of you or your staff, or people that they can relate to, real life photos. And we, for years, I'd been using my own staff's photo for a while, and that had always gotten the best response. Like, it was just this. It was actually, I used it in this particular campaign too, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. I'll pull it up here. So this photo right here, for over a year, absolutely always got me the best response, whether I use a stock photo, generic stock photos, or I used other photos of the clinic. And some of the photo quality I used in the past wasn't that great, I'll admit it. But this photo, look at us, great crew. Always got the best response in my ad. So interestingly, you guys said that in your course. I'm like, well, that makes sense. So what I did before I ran my last campaign is I said, all right, I'm just going to get a bunch of photos of my staff pretending they're treating people. So these are people that work for me. And, we just snapped a bunch of different photos. I took a different staff photo at Christmas time. This is my crew now.
Nice.
And then I used this one here as well. And, this is my clinic, and these are just staff people. And again, the response has been great. They're real people. They're just, people don't know that it's, my therapist, Alex, here, and this is my receptionist. They think it's one of my therapists and somebody who's coming in for treatment. But the point is, they can relate to it. Interestingly, this is cool. I'm glad you asked me this question, because when I first did my first low back campaign program after I learned your course, I had a bunch of photos, and I'm like, I want to get this thing tested, and I threw them up there. But the problem was, they were photos of my business partner working on people with back pain, but some of people in the photos were guys. And meanwhile, I'm targeting women. Well, wouldn't you know? I mean, I was doing it, and so I was doing fairly decently, but it was funny. I had somebody call me out. One of these people were looking at the ad, called me out on Facebook and said, why are you using this photo? You know, you're being sexist, da da da. I'm like,
But
whoa.
now you're sexist.
Yeah, I'm like, it was ridiculous. I'm like, oh my God, you know what? You're right. I'm not even gonna like argue with you. You're right. I said I just didn't have the photos, just testing the campaign. I just didn't think. And so lo and behold, I made the switch. I took these photos and a couple others, flipped them, and you know, she was right. Because I was targeting women. They saw I got more response when I changed the ads to pictures of women, because that's who I'm targeting and that's who they relate to. And sure enough, this is probably one of the other reasons that people respond to this ad is there's a heck of a lot of women in my photos. And again, it's not being sexist. It's being, hey, who are people going to connect to when they see these pictures? And that's what's important. If I'm going to target guys, I'm going to switch it right back to my business partner and some of the other guys working for me, working on guys and showing them what they can do and working with athletes or whatever. So that matters. So, you know, make sure you use pictures of, you know, of who your audience is going to respond to best, but also make them real, like you guys have suggested in your course.
Right. Don't you dare anybody go and get some stock photos with some great black and white back with a red spot on the back. If I see any of you running those ads,
well, first of all, it should be
I will publicly shame you.
Well, that meanwhile, Facebook doesn't really like those either. They don't want to see you targeting a spot on somebody's back. I've gotten denied
also true
for doing that, and you know, so don't do that. You're right, absolutely don't do that.
And one of the things that a lot of people don't know, the Facebook algorithm and running your ads, they have a quality score attached to them. And when pictures don't seem like real, like live photos that you took, when they don't look like they belong on a newsfeed, Facebook will throttle your reach. Mm-hmm. So Facebook favors pictures that look candid and look like someone just snapped a picture of a moment. Like when things are too professional, they look fake and they don't look like they belong on the newsfeed, and Facebook will throttle.
Right. I mean, look at it. You look at this picture, if you guys can see on my screen. I mean, the lighting's horrible. If you're a photographer, you're like, well, look at the lighting, it sucks. And I took pictures of the lighting and the top of the clinic. I mean, but that's still real, and that's you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right.
I said it in my 2020 video that I made, I don't know, like a week or two ago. 2020 is the decade of authentic marketing. Like being a perfectionist and overly professional doesn't work anymore. People are hungry for authenticity because they've been tricked and lied to by so many gurus out there.
Absolutely.
So stop being such a perfectionist and just take a quick picture and see how it goes. Just take a picture and see how it goes. Cool. Well, let's get into the good stuff. Let's check out the numbers.
Sure.
See how this thing went.
Real quick, before I do that, I just want to show you guys, since I have it up here. Oh, come on, let me just do this real quick. Part of your course is landing pages. This is my landing page. As you can see, image matches. My people. Okay, and then the thank you page, my logo on the back, time frame. This has obviously been cookied, so it's all zeros. But do what my advice is: if you go through Jordan and Max's course, follow the directions. It's not hard. They lay it out pretty easy for you. So let's get into Ads Manager and show you my stats here. Okay, so let me just move this over a little bit so everybody can see this, and let's minimize you and me. All right, you seeing this?
Yep.
All right, so the ad that's been absolutely crushing it has been this one, and I don't know if Facebook picked that one first. I think they picked it first because the image in the ad matches the image on my landing page, as you can see. It's the same image.
Yep.
And this has been running, it says from December 31st. I actually didn't start it until January 2nd, day after I got back from New Year's. You can see the results right here. 36, at this point, it's 36 leads. I've spent, it's got, about $5 a lead at this point. So it's gone up a little bit since I first started, but hey, if you tell me where you're going to spend and get $5 a lead. I mean, go to Google Ads and you're paying $5 a click, never mind the lead, so, total spent so far, $176. Because of what you guys recommend in terms of, offering it at a value of say $29, I haven't spent this. I'm still in the negative. So from a numbers scheduled, we scheduled of these 36 people, and I'm being completely candid when I share this information because it's not all perfect. Okay, and this is what you guys need to know, that these numbers look great. I've got 36 new leads are in my marketing funnel. They're going to continue to get my drip campaigns. Eventually, some of them haven't signed up right away, believe it or not, but some of them have. The ones that haven't, they're going to continue to hear from me moving forward, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's for email marketing. That's the value of this, and you can't get that anywhere else. We scheduled 15. 2 of them no-showed, and both of those were paid no-shows. One of them canceled because she had a problem, unfortunately, but she also paid, and she's interested. She wants to come back at some point, so we'll take care of her when she's ready. We've seen 3 of the people for their actual neck and shoulder analysis. One was converted to a plan of care, so that's easy $800. One's undecided, and that's because the person doesn't have insurance and she's trying to decide if she can afford an out-of-pocket process with us. And one I don't know because I haven't had the exam happened yesterday, and I haven't gotten the results from the therapist yet. I have 9 more scheduled. All right, so 9 are still on our schedule with it this week or next week. So I don't know the results there, but frankly, in the past, we've always converted at least 50 to 60% of these people to plan of care. So when I made the projections that I made to you guys on the Facebook group, getting to that $40, $100 mark is not going to be a problem. Because we have a process for converting them during their neck and shoulder analysis or low back analysis, whatever it is. And that process is making sure they get the education they know about their injury. They get an understanding of how we can impact that injury through that treatment strategy that we show them, as well as the exercise that helps them feel a little bit better. And so by the end of that process, they're like, oh, okay, this makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't I do this? Especially when they have insurance that we accept and they can get covered by that insurance to take care of themselves. So it's not really a sales process. It's an education process, which we're all as practitioners very good at. It's just a matter of being, let me show you. Let me look at you. Let me get the results. Let me give you the results. And then let me show you how it's going to work. And then, oh, by the way, wouldn't you like to do a little bit more of this so you can feel pain-free forever? It's an easy conversion. Right. So when I say that we'll make, $4,100 to $4,800 out of this campaign, I absolutely look. If you want me to come back on in a month's time to show you those conversion numbers and everything else that I made, I'm happy to do it. I'm really not worried about it.
We'd love that. We'd love that. So let's move on from the ads here. Thank you so much for walking us through there. So you run conversion campaigns, a 10-mile radius around the clinic, targeting women.
10-mile radius around each clinic. So my audiences are kind of combined because I didn't have enough people in one clinic on its own. You know what I mean?
Right. And then you followed our perfect ad copy template, which everyone watching this video, you can go back and just watch that. Just grab it. It works. Follow the ad copy template. Take a real photo that looks like makes you seem like a real approachable human being. Sometimes people try to be so professional and want to be seen as so professional that they actually make themselves seem unapproachable. So just take some candid group photos. Be goofy. If you're one of those clinics that lets dogs into the clinic, people eat that stuff up. Take pictures of it. Use it. Okay. So we have the mechanism for drawing in the traffic. Let's take a look at the landing page and see what's actually getting them to opt in.
Yep. Sorry about that. I turned off the share there.
No, that's okay. Just wanted people to get a good look at it just because I want to show a point. You do not need a full-blown website. I personally believe you shouldn't be driving paid traffic to a full-blown website. I think everything should be on landing pages because you can't have analysis paralysis. There's very clear information on what it is you're getting and one very clear action to take to get that thing. That's how you're going to get high conversions with Facebook ads and Google ads. So, okay, you want to walk us through it?
Yeah, sure. So, start with the logo. Again, it's just I use lead pages for my landing pages. I know some people use ClickFunnels, and honestly, either one works. This is not really that much different. So I use landing lead pages because I can connect to Infusionsoft, and that's my CRM, and it's been working great for me for years. So I'm not really ready to change to ClickFunnels quite yet. So use this background photo. Here it is. It's get your complete neck and shoulder analysis. Claim your voucher now. And this is the concept that you got to learn from you, stacking what it is. And so we just get into a little more detail of what they're getting out of this analysis session. So we're going to look at their shoulder movement and do a function exam. How is their movement impacting their overall function and what they can and can't do? We're going to obviously test their strength. We're going to test their mobility. We're going to look at their posture and joint mobility. You want to determine, is there restrictions in their neck or their shoulder joint? Is their posture limiting their ability to move at their neck or their shoulder? That's part of the process. Nice. Of course, we're going to give them a review of the findings. We're going to sit down and we're going to tell them everything we see and what it means to them and how it can be corrected. And then we're going to do a quick treatment technique, and we're going to show them a pain relief strategy they can do at home. When you look at that and you see it stacked the way it is, and is it a $159 service? Yeah, it really is. It's legitimately, that's what we charge. So we would bill an insurance company for $29. And so when you look at that and you go, oh my goodness, I get all this stuff and I'm going to walk away with a little less pain, have an idea what to do. Why wouldn't I take this? And of course, here's the scarcity tech, a little bit of scarcity, limited number of vouchers, only 23 left. Right. Quite frankly, I got to reduce that number. And it's not because, obviously you guys have seen I have 36 leads. So, I'm not being very honest, am I? You know what? At the end of the day, there's only so many things we want to give out anyway, because we still have a boatload of patients we're seeing coming in on other channels. So it is something I do have to change. And now that I've had this conversation,
leads don't count towards that. Leads don't count towards that. We only schedule books and paid appointments. So you can get as many leads as you want, but you generally don't want to go over the 23 actual booked appointments, although we all know people do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So anyway, and here's my give me my voucher, and they click the give me my voucher button, and here's a pop up, and they get their name, email, phone number, and they choose the clinic they want to come to and send me my voucher. And once they do that, they end up on the thank you page. Again, same format you guys teach in your course. I just happen to put my logo on the background. Thank you. And I tell them you get a free copy of the 4 best exercises to root. Now, of course, I apologize. I pulled up the low back thank you, not the neck and shoulder thank you, but it's the same ad copy. And if they call and schedule in the next 20 minutes, which you'll see the timer go, and it's the first time they hit the page, they can click the button and it'll go a phone call to the directly from the computer, or going to just call the number and we can get them scheduled that way. So literally pretty much took the same process that you guys taught in your course and said, okay. And this, I put the thank you page, put my own little spin on it with the logo and everything else, but it's just a little bit of branding, and I thought I did a pretty good job there, actually.
Yeah, no, you definitely did. And I want to drive this home for some people. So most people, when someone opts in for your ebook, opts in for a phone consultation, a free discovery visit, they just send you, you just send them to a blank thank you page saying someone will get in contact with you. That is the biggest waste of online real estate on the planet, just empty thank you pages, because those people just made a commitment to do something and they're ready for an immediate next step. So you need to give it to them.
Absolutely.
So what we teach, and what you can see here, as Steve did, is he created what we call thank you offer. So we incentivize them to call and book their appointment right then and there, so that your front office staff, or you, if you're a solo practitioner, don't have to spend the next 2 days chasing this person down. So create another offer that's going to get them to call and book with you in the next 20 minutes. So that this is a cornerstone to our strategy in making it successful.
Well, and the other thing that I do is, the other piece of this too is not only doing something like this because it shows that you're really interested in helping that person right there and then. And I'll be honest with you, we don't get a lot of people calling us right out of the gates. I think they still want to get a little more information. So not only are they getting this right after they submit their give me my voucher form, they get an immediate follow-up email with an actual voucher attached to it that advises them to print it out, to give us a call. Again, reminds them about this offer, and whether they do or not. If they don't, it doesn't matter, because I get an immediate notification that somebody's opted in, that somebody's interested. And so we take that notification and I forward it to my front desk staff, and they basically get on the phone and make a call. And there you go. That's how we book them.
Nice. Do you have any guidance on or strategy that you have your staff use when they call these leads?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to hit your recording button, this is exactly what they should be saying, and this is what I've given them as a script. It's hi so and so. This is Steve from All Access Physical Therapy. I saw that you visited our website recently and it requested a neck and shoulder analysis session. Following up with you to help you get that scheduled, and love to assist you as soon as we can. When would be the best time for you to come in? Now we get them live. That's what we say. If we get them with a message, we leave a message and advise them to give us a call and leave the phone number. And again, it's very fast. It's boom, boom, right. Get on the phone, get them an email, get them a phone, and continue that process, because some people don't call back right away. So I have, not only do I have a phone process where if they don't get them the first time, they're calling them at least 2 more times, but they're also getting a whole follow-up email campaign that's automated through my Infusionsoft system that again reminds them what they did and what how we can help them, and give us a call so we can get them scheduled before it's too late. And we even give them a last message that says, hey, this is your last opportunity. We can't reserve these slots much longer. If you're interested, please give us a call. So, and then of course, if they don't, again, not everybody's a now buyer. You can give them all the information in the world. They're not ready, or something comes up, they get distracted. That's going to happen. So don't get too discouraged. That's why you'd put them in a long-term drip campaign. And, I've spent years creating, a comprehensive drip campaign that, I know works pretty well for my results, because I use it every month and I get patients every month just from using that.
It's beautiful. So at what point do you take payment for the voucher?
We take payment right away. Like if we're on the phone with them, we let them know that, hey, look, in order to reserve the slot, we've got to take the payment today. And we flat out tell them, look, there are other patients coming in that are, we are able to charge more through their insurance, and they get priority. And so if they really want the slot, then we advise them to pay now, and we let them know that it's not refundable. And, but we essentially make a promise that they're going to get some great results from it. So if they have any objections, we handle them that way. And, we don't get any problem with it. $29 is $29. We haven't had anybody balk at $29.
Beautiful. Yeah. And it offsets all the ad spend, so you can dump more money into your ads. It's a beautiful, beautiful system.
That's the beauty of it. I mean, look, you guys saw my numbers. I've spent $176. I've scheduled 15. So do the math. Even in the people that canceled or no showed, I still got their money.
15 times
29.
Yeah, made like $500 whether they come in or not.
Right. So I've already paid for my ad campaign. In fact, I've been remiss, because I've been busy doing other stuff. I've been remiss in not scaling my ad campaign up because of the money I've made. I mean, that's really that's what I got to do. It's on my calendar, but it's going to happen. I'm just going to say, okay, well, why not run this thing at $25 a day? Because I'm making money on it.
Right.
And then when I stop making money, then okay, then we'll either dial it back or make a tweak or two and go from there.
Right. So if you're one of those people that's listening to this and you want to run Facebook ads but don't have a marketing budget, this is something I want you to realize, that if you have a front end offer, like the neck and shoulder offer that's $29 that Steve's running, and you're able to collect that payment over the phone, you now have an infinite ad budget, because your ads, the voucher that they're paying you for costs more than the cost of actually acquiring that lead. You're making money for people to contact you. So stop doing free discovery visits, free consults, charge some money, because then you have an infinite ad budget. They can start scaling.
And for those of you, some of you guys out there will promote workshops and all that, do paid workshops. Try that out. Why not? See if people, because again, if you're doing a free workshop, maybe they're not going to value it. Maybe they're not going to put it into their calendar because it's free. Why would it,
Right.
Or they're more likely to skip out on you for offering a free workshop versus something that's paid that they've got skin in the game for. And that's really what it comes down to. That's why people, when people have a perceived value because they've invested in it, they're going to generally attend to it one way or the other.
Absolutely. Steve, do you have any other advice for anyone else that is starting to run some Facebook ads, or just some pitfalls that you might have fell into that you can help them avoid?
Yeah, one of the, I think that a lot of practice owners they I've seen it, and I've seen it in the different groups. They struggle with it. They don't quite get it because they don't quite have the marketing background that I do. I've invested a lot of time in understanding what marketing is all about, the right type of marketing. So when I see something new like you guys put together, it just rings bells for me. It's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let's give it a shot. Boom, 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 and I can implement it. A lot of practice owners aren't like that. Just give me one sec, guys. I just got to do this because otherwise my wife's gonna get mad at me.
Wife's first.
Yeah, I just gotta type yes, 5 minutes. So anyway, the what I was getting at is a lot of guys get frustrated and they go, "Oh, that didn't work. I don't want to do it anymore." Or I tried to spend $5, a day, and I didn't get the results. Look, I'm spending $15 a day on my ad spend. All right. Is that great? I can spend more, and I'm probably going to spend more. But for me, I always look at 15 as that magic number to say, all right, at least it's going to get out there. It's going to roll out. It's going to get some traction. And then I can take a look at it over not just a day or 2 days or 3 days, but you got to give it a 5 to 7 days and really look at the numbers. And if you don't produce the results, turn it off and then step back and say, what can I do to make this ad better? And if you don't know what to do, educate yourself. Educate yourself. If you're really interested in doing it yourself, then you have to educate yourself on the right way to do marketing. There are a variety of resources out there. There's guys like you, there's guys like me, there's guys like, Chad Madden, for example. There's a boatload of guys that have been there, done that, understand ad copywriting. Dan Kennedy, guru, top dog of it all. Go study his stuff. You'll get the same stuff that we're doing, and you just learn it. And once you understand marketing, here's what you do. If you don't want to go through the process of learning how to set up a pixel or set up a landing page or figure out how to structure your ad on Facebook or take photos of your clinic staff, hire somebody. Hire somebody that knows what they're talking about, because you know what you're talking about. You understand the concepts of marketing. You understand that this person that you're talking to is speaking your language, is speaking the same languages, gets the process, so that they should be able to help you. Like, you guys speak the same language. That's why I bought your course. Because like, okay, I get what they're saying. I like what your presentation. Let me go read it. Let me go see it. Let me go evaluate it, which I did, and it worked. But if you're not like me and you can't do it yourself, you don't know landing pages, funnels, and all that stuff, then the other advice is go hire somebody to do it for you. Go hire guys like you and Max to put the campaigns together, put the ad copy together, set up the landing pages, set up the lead pages, click funnels, whatever tools you use.
Right.
And then all you have to do is go take a bunch of images of you and your staff doing techniques or as a group, just like I did. I showed you tonight. Send them off to Max and Jordan. And, next thing you know, you got an ad that's driving traffic to your business, and, it's worth the money. Yeah, you may spend a little more than I did for that service, but if it turns into $4,000, $5,000, whatever it is, you evaluate that versus the cost of the spend, and it's far above that, then why wouldn't you do it? Why go bang your head and not have the results that you want for your practice when somebody can help you do it much better and much faster at the end of the day? So that's my 2 cents on it that I'd like to offer other practice owners who are maybe struggling and getting going with ads. Make the investment. It sucks. You bite the bullet, you spend some money. Never, you always have that little fear. What if it doesn't work? Get over that mindset. Do your research. Evaluate the people you feel comfortable with, and if you think they're going to do a good job, likely go with your gut, because they will, especially if they have the ideas and concepts of marketing that are valid based on your own education. So there you go.
Right. Yeah, that's some really good advice. And I swear I did not tell him to say any of that. So I appreciate that.
I'm not being financially, this is all free, guys. I'm just doing this from the bottom of my heart to help these guys. I appreciate their course. I appreciate what's done for me. And frankly, I hope you guys take advantage of what they've done, because it's really great stuff. And whether it's buying their course or working with them directly, I don't think you're going to go wrong. Let's put it that way.
So if we've been playing with some ideas on how to make all this stuff even more available to everybody, because we want these methodologies and these strategies to be widespread, because we truly believe that that's how we're going to make the biggest impact that we possibly can. So we're thinking about ways that we can do that. So if anyone might be interested in all of our exact ads, landing pages, follow-up systems, sales training, conversion training, all that stuff, just comment me below, and maybe that might happen in the next couple weeks.
Do it.
Well,
Do it,
Steve,
everybody.
thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Jordan.
Karen, I'm really glad that you found it helpful. Steve, Andrew, Katie, James, Jason, Bob, Rena, Anthony, thank you all so much for being here. Steve, again, this has been an absolute privilege. It's always awesome to have you in the group. You always drop some serious knowledge, and I always learn something.
Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate you having me. I enjoy doing so, and all the best to you guys.
Excellent. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Bye, everybody.